So I was born with a neurological disorder that causes my eyes to shake back and forth all the time. Like most little kids, I didn't really understand that anything was different for quite a while, actually. But early on, I discovered that there were a few things that kind of triggered it. One, if I was nervous. Two, if I was dizzy. And then three, if I was lying, which was great for my parents. It was like a built-in lie detector, you know, like if I was trying to get past with something, and they would just ask me to look them in the eyes. But I remember somewhere around maybe junior high, and other kids started to notice. I remember a kid looking in my eyes, seeing them shaking, and saying something like, "Oh, can you look somewhere else? You're freaking me out," Yeah, I was 11 or 12, man, and that kind of broke me. Because up until that point, I thought maybe it's like a superpower. Maybe I legitimately thought, that there was like wooden fences with little slivers you can see through. I thought maybe because my eyes shake, I can like piece it together and I can see through fences. Turns out that's not the case. Somewhere around 11 or 12, this anger began to take root. And it was certainly anger at God, but it was anger at the doctors that I think could have prevented some of this. It was even anger at my parents for like allowing this to happen. And it became a thing that I tried to mask, and I would avoid eye contact with people because I didn't want to freak anyone else out, And I got pretty good at kind of pretending it didn't bother me. It caused some vision issues, but I would make a joke about it, or I'd move on. And you fast forward to this summer I spent in India after undergrad, and we were working with this really small ministry. There was an orphan girls' home on the property, and they would come over. They'd march in order to our property every day. And every country I've ever been to, little kids always want to be spun. Just the universal sign for spin me. It's the same in every country I've ever been to. And so I spin one kid, and then I spin another kid, and I've spun 2 or 3 kids. And if you remember, one of the things that triggered it is dizziness. So now that I've spun 4 or 5 kids, man, my eyes are shaking so bad that I like fall over. And so I fall over, and these 2 girls see my eyes shaking, and they literally like gasp and then run away. And I felt like decades of anger and sadness just came like washing back over me. It was like, Lord, even here, like, I'm terrifying to them. And I looked, and these 2 girls had ran away, and they were dragging a 3rd girl back toward me. And I remember thinking, that's just cruel. Like, oh, come laugh at the freak American, And so they're dragging her toward me, and I'm still on the ground, and they kind of just drop her in front of me. And I look into her eyes, and she looks into mine, and I see that her eyes are shaking. And there was this moment, and I don't know how to explain it because we didn't even speak each other's language. And she just she leapt into my arms, and we just like wept, man. And I don't know how to talk about what happened in that moment, but it was something profound. And she was right by my side for the rest of the time that I was there. Weeks later, I got a letter from the missionary family there, and they said, "Hey, there's no way for you to know this, but we want you to know that before you came here, little Vipna was always at the back of every line and always insisted on playing by herself. But since your visit, she's now at the front of every line, and she holds her head up high and says, my eyes are like Uncle Ian's eyes." And that, you want to talk about the power of God to not only make things okay, but to redeem them for good. I feel like I got this front row seat to this healing that took place, and she didn't care what degree I had or how many Instagram followers I had. God actually used the brokenness, the thing that I most wish wasn't true of me, to convey and communicate his love for her in that moment. And it was like such a healing and profoundly reorienting experience for me.